So I was lucky in that I had really close friends and family to be able to help me through my cancer experience. The best way of describing what it's like is to think of yourself on a tightrope. Your friends are holding one side, your family's holding the other. And if you fall, if you lose it and don't stay strong, then you take them down with you, which is maybe not the best way of describing it, because of course your family try and do their best, but you feel quite alone and you feel like you have to stay strong for everybody else. But there are days where you do lose it, and it's horrible. You're kind of faced with your own mortality, which is horrendous. And I think unless you've been in that situation, it's hard to understand, and so you feel quite alone. But you come through it, and you know they're still there to hold your hand and to be with you, and to have the high days as well as the low days.
I've been married to Richard for the last 43 years. I have 2 sons, adult sons of course. Andrew's got a slight disability. But other than that, we all just breeze along. I always feel that I have to be strong for the members in my family. But that same year, Andrew had been through a very big brain operation, and he was so strong during that and so positive that I felt that I had to be the same. So that sort of helped all of us get through it, I think. I think Andrew was in a bit of denial. This couldn't be possibly happening to my mum. My responsibilities with Andrew, yes, it did worry me. Andrew's a funny guy because he wouldn't come and visit me in hospital. People react differently when somebody is diagnosed with cancer. Most people are very supportive. You do get a few people that don't want to know. The day before I went in for my surgery, I actually went to a seniors concert in town with some friends, and he said to me, "You don't look like you've got cancer." So I thought, I said to him, "What does a cancer person look like?" Which of course he couldn't answer me. People didn't believe it was happening because I looked the same, acted the same, and everything was the same. So, but you do get people that just don't know what to say when somebody says that they've got cancer. My answer to that is, if you don't know what to say, tell them so. Say, "I don't know what to say," but I usually follow it up with a hug. Hugs help. I did have a lot of disappointment. People that I thought would support me and rally around didn't, and then there were people that I thought wouldn't, and they did.
Well, I think your family has lived through it. You know, they were there on the very first day for the whole 12 hours. We were sitting waiting, and they've just lived most of it with us. You know, we haven't really kept anything from them, and we've tried to include them. So I guess we haven't really kept. And that's the thing. I mean, we're a family that's pretty close, at least nuclear-wise, and yeah.
I feel really quite lucky that I have, that we have their support.
It's hard because you don't know what's going to happen. You can hope that the chemo will do its job, but you don't know. You can hope for the best. I think we all try and be strong for each other. Obviously in front of the children, you just got to keep going.
I guess shock, because I knew what it meant being a nurse, and I must admit it really threw me for a six. And it's amazing, then you go into action stations, into action mode. You think, well, right, what can we do? Let's get on with things. And it's amazing how you do that. You think you're just going to collapse and fall in a heap, but you don't. And even though it's a terrible shock, mind you, she's a wonderful person and she's very positive. So that helped, and the rest of the family helped.
It's been a hard journey, but and it's never very far from your mind.
A little bit of a roller coaster, really. You know, one week everything's wonderful, the next week it's not, but you've just got to stay positive and just press on, as it were. Don't be afraid to ask your friends, because don't try and do it on your own, because most people are very willing to be there for you and help. I think support is one thing that's really necessary for the person going through it. You have to just support, as far as pick up kids from school, take them to sporting things, just generally be there for the children, because their life has been turned upside down too, and they need to have somebody there for them. I think that's important, and just generally support the family. That's about all you can do. At least you feel as though you're doing something positive as a parent.
1 in 3 of us will have a cancer of some description, and talking about it and educating others and being open about what's happening to you can be really liberating, both for yourself as well as for those who are close to you. There are some stigma elements that go along with gynecological cancers that perhaps don't go along with other cancers, that make women feel that it's not something they can talk about. The other thing about gynecological cancers is that they occur less commonly. The individual gynecological cancer diagnoses occur less commonly than things like breast cancer, bowel cancer, lung cancer. And so you're less likely to know in your friendship network someone who's suffered from a gynecological cancer. And so even if you are someone who's quite okay about talking about it, to find someone else who's had a similar experience may be a little bit difficult. And that's where support groups can come in really helpfully, because that's a community of women who have been treated for similar illnesses. No two women are of course ever the same.